Hi guys, welcome back to video 2 of today, and once again we are using pear juice. Williams pear, pageantly, and we're going to be making a pear cider with simply store-bought stuff. We've got 2 litres of pear juice, 2 litres of apple juice. Now, when you are using store-bought stuff, try and buy stuff that doesn't have potassium sorbate or benzocalamine or something like that, because they're both substances that stop fermentations. They inhibit the yeast from taking on any sugars, multiplying, and basically doing their job in producing alcohol. So dodge them. Now, this does have an antioxidant in, but that's not going to be a problem. If anything, that may help us because it's going to stop it oxidizing, which then will turn it to like vinegar, which we don't want. We want alcohol, not vinegar. Although vinegar's quite nice. I like vinegar. Anyway, stop chatting balls. So we're going to be adding pectinase to this. Pectinase is an enzyme that stops a haze building up from pectin. Now, in fruits and things like that, mainly citrus fruits, but most fruits do have a level of pectin, and it just creates a haziness which we want to get rid of. So what we do is we use this enzyme. It breaks that pectin down, because pectin's a protein. So what we do is we break that down, and that allows us to turn, I think it even turns it into a fermentable. So we benefit from it both ways, really. We don't have a hazy beverage, which in this day and age isn't really a bad thing. I mean, a lot of beers I drink are hazy, but yeah, you know, go with what you want to do. You can either put it in or don't. I'm putting it in just because I've got it. So we're going to be using the same amount of apple juice to pear ratio. I haven't done a pear cider before. I think this is actually only my 3rd cider using store-bought juice. Just going to splash everywhere. But yeah, I thought, you know, got some apple juice, pretty cheap. Sorry, some pear juice, pretty cheap. So I was just going to be doing 2 brews, but I'm actually doing a series of 3. So you can check them out if you like. If not, don't. It's fine. Next, we're going to add one of the pear juices in, which is straight away going to make it cloudy. Which we're not bothered about, because that's why we put the pectinase in. Hopefully. That's my theory anyway. The theory is the pectinase will remove the haze. It might not. Who knows? We are in uncharted territory. Right, I'm going to speed this bit up so you don't need to see me pour the other ones in. Okay. So, now we're going to add some oxygen and mix it all together, because we want that pectinase to be evenly dispersed so it can do its job properly. Adding oxygen to help the yeast start a decent colony, giving it a head start. It needs oxygen at the beginning, but not. So within the first day it needs oxygen. After that, you kind of want to leave it be. You don't want to be adding oxygen to it. But as soon as there is a bit of alcohol in there, you can knacker things up if you oxygenate it. So we've got a nice bit of froth in there now. So it's so simple. We literally add the juice. We're going to take a hydrometer reading now to see where the potential fermentable sugars is, to see what we'd be left with if we left it to ferment as it is. And If it's not as high as we want it to be, we'll add some brewing sugar. Simple as that. You don't want to overshoot your sugars. I said this on the video I did a minute ago, so I'm sorry if you're hearing me repeat myself, but if you overshoot your sugars, what ends up happening is you'll have residual sugar. Now, you might like a sweet cider. I'm not really a fan of sweet ciders. If I'm drinking a cider, I like it to be dry, a bit sharp. But ciders are very sessionable, so it doesn't need to be a high ABV. So that's going to be around the 6.5, I'd say. Let me just double check that. Okay, so that was close enough. It's got a potential of being 7.3. I'm not going to add anything to that. Was it 7.3 or 6.3? Yeah, it was 7.3. So that's got the potential to be 7.3%. That's perfect for me. I'm happy with that. I do not need to add any sugars. In fact, it's probably a little bit more than what I anticipated. But I do think the apple juice has a larger sugar content because it's from concentrate. Now, the pear juice is from a pulp, or a puree, sorry. So now what we do is we make a note for sure of what the original gravity was. It was 1.056. And now we're going to add the cider yeast. We've got a big bag, so I haven't got like a small packet to measure from. So some small packets, like this mead yeast that's here, that might or might not be the next brew. Shh, don't tell anyone. Doesn't even tell me how much it is. Yeah, it does. That's 10 grams. So I'm going to estimate that 1 teaspoon of this is 10 grams. Should I weigh it? Should I weigh it? No, because I only use half a packet of that anyway. So, in the yeast goes. Decompress the bag, we don't want the air in there. And that goes in the fridge, where it sits dormant. And we mix that in. Making sure it's all wet, none of it's stuck to the side, like it is around there. It's no good stuck to the side. Oxygenation, pre-fermentation is always what you want. You want to make sure that that's all nicely mixed in together, not in any clumps, otherwise it causes something what I call yeast bergs. Clumps of yeast, I mean, they will work in the clump, of course they will, they'll eventually fizzle out and sort themselves out, but ideally it's not what you want. Now I've had to make a makeshift cap for this because I cannot for the life of me find this the bung for it. So, and there you go, that's it, simple as that. Label it up and leave it to do what it's going to do. Pear cider. On the 13th, on the 9th, 22, original gravity was 1.056. And we wait. It's as simple as that. Nothing else to do now but wait. I'm going to move some stuff and get the next brew on. Which, as I say, may or may not be a mead. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.